Those of you here for the first time, let me share with you in the next 20 minutes or so a brief story about our amazing organisation, a company that's given an opportunity to people from all walks of life, from all sorts of different backgrounds in all sorts of different countries around the world. Our story starts back in 1978. 35 years, coming up for 36 years actually, in May. Rex Morn, our founder, started Forever Living. From small beginnings, literally starting the organisation around his daytime job at the time. He was one of the youngest vice presidents for a property management company in Phoenix, Arizona, but in spite of having a safe corporate career, always had a vision to have something for himself, build something for himself, and so started the fledgling Forever organisation. And for those of you who will be with us at the O2, you'll get a chance to see Rex and hopefully meet Rex too. He's a very accessible person. I'm sure he'll be in and around the audience there, and you'll get a chance perhaps to say hi to a really, really amazing, remarkable guy. I often think what his friends and family must have said to him all those years ago when he said, right, I'm quitting the safe job and I'm going to start my own business. Probably similar comments to some of the comments that you may have when you start your fledgling Forever business. What are you doing that for? You're crazy. That'll never work. The very same things that Rex heard all those years ago. I'd love to meet some of his friends and family now, perhaps some of those cynical, skeptical ones from 35 years ago, because he's been recognised in Forbes magazine on more than one occasion as being one of the wealthiest individuals in the USA, all from his fledgling aloe vera business. We're still a family business, which I'm really proud of, and certainly when I joined as a distributor, which was back in 1994, before I became the country manager, for me, working with a family business I felt was more secure. I certainly think that now. I'm glad we're not owned by a bank or a financial institution or a pension fund. We're managed by a group of people, many of whom that have been together for over 3 decades, that have a very clear idea of where we want to be as a business, and that is we would love to do business in any country that we feel comfortable doing business in. And every year we open up in a couple of new markets, which gives you and I as independent distributors a chance to build teams in those markets. We now operate in over 150 countries around the world. And again, going back to the O2 in a few weeks' time, you'll get a chance to see most of the VPs will be across there. You'll get a chance to put some names to the faces that you might have heard of. We're cash rich, we're debt free. When we expand around the world, whether that be locally, in the case of last year, we opened up a big new distribution facility in Rotterdam in Holland. All those facilities are paid for cash from the profits of our successful businesses around the world. We act as our own bank, which I think, again, gives us a great deal of security. Over $1.5 billion worth of assets, predominantly prime property, and over $2 billion worth of global sales. We sell around £50 million worth of product at retail values here in the UK, and you know, that's puts us on the map, but haven't quite scratched the surface yet, and I know that to be true because as I travel around the UK, I'm often in conversations with people in taxis or restaurants or bars or wherever, and very few people seem to have heard of Forever. In spite of being here for 20 years, in spite of being successful, I still believe that we are very much a ground floor opportunity for anybody getting started. And, you know, week in, week out as I travel, that's confirmed to me. One of the most important things I think about our business is that we're consistent. Year on year, we grow consistently. And that's been the case both in the UK business and also in the global business too. But here in the UK, we've certainly seen in the last couple of 3 years an acceleration, and I believe that's because we're riding some really, really powerful trends, and I'll share some of my thoughts on that in a second. But we've been trading since '93. We have a beautiful head office on Junction 15 of the M40, Longbridge Manor. As with all of our corporate facilities, it's very much an open door policy there. Anybody, anytime you're passing, you'd be very welcome to come in, have a look around, meet the team that are there to support you. We've got a dedicated group of people, many of whom are here today. Actually, you'll get a chance to meet some of them. They're manning the stands today, but a dedicated marketing department, dedicated distributor support department. And so when you get started, those people are there to help you. You don't need to know everything in order to get started. They can furnish you with the information that you need in order to start your fledgling business. So we're riding some powerful trends, the first of which I believe is the marketplace, a growing marketplace of people who are looking for safe, natural products. If I think back to the early years of Forever in the UK, it was unusual in the press then to get reference to natural health products, particularly to aloe vera, to nutritional supplements, whereas now I'd defy anybody to open a newspaper today without some reference to our health in there. Of course, the internet over the last 20 years has also become a powerful source of information, and so people can look at how to become healthy, how to stay healthy, and all these things have driven more and more people to look for safe, natural products. We've got an aging population, which is good news for a business like ours, but those aging people want to stay fit and healthy. And I think more and more people now are recognizing that probably the person who can influence our health most is us. There are steps that we can take to be healthier. Take exercise, drink water, get some good sleep, get some good nutrition, some of which comes perhaps from the food we eat, but often because of our fast-paced lives, it's difficult to get all the nutrition that we need each day. And that's where companies like Forever can provide high-class quality products that enable us to feel better. For me, one of the acid tests of Forever, one of the strengths of Forever, is the product range. I know that many people join Forever as distributors because they firstly had a really positive result with the product. They felt better. Maybe they had a health challenge that was helped by our product, or maybe they just wanted to stay fit and healthy. But as a result of looking better and feeling better, people are attracted to them. You're looking great, or you look like you got more energy. What are you doing? Oh, I'm drinking this every day, or taking that every day. That's very much how many people start their Forever business with us. We're in lots and lots of different marketplaces that are all booming. The health and wellness section, nutritional products, is growing rapidly. 10, 15, 20 years ago, if you took a nutritional supplement, you might be seen as being a bit off the wall or wacky. But actually a big percentage of our population now take a nutritional supplement each day, and more of them are getting around to thinking that maybe they should do too. So the sort of marketplaces that we have to develop are already established, and they're all growing year on year. And I guess as an individual business owner, which you are as a Forever distributor, the question you need to ask yourselves is how much of that market would you like? Because they are huge. Year on year, we reinvest millions of dollars of our profits actually into research and development. We bring out new products year on year, and I'm very pleased to tell you we'll be launching some more exciting products at the O2 Arena at the Global Rally there, which we'll have access to straight away after the Global Rally, which will be good news because they've actually got to ship them into the UK to sell them at the Global Rally, so that's good, isn't it? We became famous as being the world's largest aloe vera company, and also the company that produced more beehive products than anybody else. But we've sort of diversified over the years too, but we're still mainstream in aloe, and we grow all of our own aloe, plantations that we own ourselves. We're vertically integrated, certainly in the aloe markets, owning and controlling every stage of the process. So we know the products are top quality because we make them ourselves. And I think probably the biggest statement we make about our products is our unconditional 60-day money-back guarantee. Certainly, I think for most people getting started as distributors, they perhaps don't know too much about the product, might have had a small experience of it themselves, but to be able to offer that guarantee to people that they come into contact with gives, I think, all of us a great deal of confidence. Somebody you know can try it, and if they don't like it, they can bring it back and get a full refund of their money. There's not many places, not many other places that people could buy from with that sort of guarantee in place. Now, if you think about that, the product must work, because if all of the product was coming back, we wouldn't have stayed in business for 35 months, let alone 35 years. We get less than half of 1% of our product back in the UK under that guarantee. The product absolutely works. Our method of marketing works too. I know that many people, when they first come to look at our business, are cautious about it, they're skeptical about it, they've heard some things about network marketing or multi-level marketing or team marketing. They've heard some things that haven't always been positive. But you know, we're in a highly regulated industry now, we have been for many years, and I believe that the guarantees that are in place to protect individual distributors are as powerful as the guarantees that are in place for our product. So if somebody chooses to join Forever Living and get started, and then for whatever reason they don't like their Forever Living distributorship and they want to get out of it, that's no problem at all. We buy back any unused product that they have. And so the financial commitment that people have to start their own business in our industry is minuscule compared to the financial commitment that you would need to start in business for yourself in some other walk of life. We recently engaged a new PR company to help us promote the O2 event, and in a dialogue with them, one of their other clients is a franchise business that sells a gardening franchise, would you believe, and they charge £15,000 for a gardening franchise. I'm thinking, yeah, how difficult is weeding the garden? But you know, the interesting thing is there's lots and lots of people investing that sort of money in franchises, and the reason they do that is because they have a blueprint with a franchise, and we have a blueprint with Forever. And our blueprint costs you a hell of a lot less money, but I believe will give you a much better return. So this method of marketing, skeptical as people may be about it, it's highly regulated, it's recognized worldwide, it's growing year on year, and literally billions of euros or dollars or pounds of products or services are sold direct to the consumer each year by organizations like ours. Some of the statistics on the screen there. Perhaps the most interesting one is that in the UK and Ireland there are 500,000 people involved in our type of business, in our industry. And yet not many people know anybody who makes a full-time income out of network marketing yet. There are lots and lots of them in this room, and I believe over the coming years you're going to see a high level of acceptance for our type of business in the wider public. I'm already seeing it in conversations with guests that are brought to Longbridge Manor. Very often people who are trying to sponsor people will bring their guests to Longbridge, sometimes have a cup of tea with us, wander around the building, and I'm seeing more and more, or hearing of more and more people now who are saying, I'm looking for a network marketing business because I know that it's the growth industry of the future. If you want to get a better understanding of our industry, I would recommend that you buy from Knowledge is King today, Barry the Book as we call him, the book Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Ask any of the leaders in the room today, they'll tell you that's a great book to read to get a better understanding of the untapped potential that we have within our business. One of the drivers of our business, I believe, is that we invest very heavily in support and training. We have events like this. We have smaller events going on in lots of different hotels and locations around the country. We have 3 centres of our own in Wakefield, in Milton Keynes and in London that are open for distributors to attend trainings to get the knowledge they need. So if you sat here thinking, I've never done anything like this before, don't worry about that. Most of us were in a similar position at some point in the past. But the training and support that's in place, whether it be live physical training like this or whether it be online or through books, DVDs, it's all there. You just need to become a good student, learn some of the basics about the way our business works, and away you go. I'm very pleased to tell you that in the last few weeks we've had confirmed that once again we have the highest level of investor in people. It's a government-sponsored program. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It's our 4th term now, I think, as being at the highest level of investor in people, and I guess that's a testament to the quality of the training and support that's in place. We're also active members of our trade association, the Direct Selling Association. I've sat on the board of the DSA now both in Ireland and in the UK for over a decade, and that's an association that's dedicated to raising the profile of our industry and also protecting our industry against unwanted legislation. And part of what we do there is an active campaign of engaging with politicians. We've had a couple of sessions in 2013 in the Houses of Parliament. We've got more planned for this year. We really want to raise the awareness of politicians as to the good that our industry does in enabling people to provide an income for themselves and their families, whether that be on a very part-time basis to supplement whatever income they already have coming in, or whether it be on a full-time basis, in other words, a career income. And you're going to hear lots of people today that have done that. Let me introduce you to some of the people that we work with, some of the people that are here to support each and every one of you. The first team I want to introduce you to are our VIP Leadership Committee, our top 10 distributors there in the UK that we work with on a regular basis, and they are an advisory board to the company in the sense that they help us develop the right trainings, the right support materials. They're actively involved with our marketing department in the creation of tools that help you and I build a business faster and easier. If our VIP leadership are in the room today, I'd love you to stand. Let's recognise them for the great job that they do in supporting each and every one of us. Thank you, guys. I know some of them are still queuing on the car park because they were texting me earlier on to tell me that. Our bigger group are our VIP group, and to be part of the VIPs, you can see the criteria on the screen there. So January to December is the qualification period. You'll recognise our VIPs today as you're walking around. They have a black card, a black lanyard on that says VIP. If you're a new person, I'd encourage you to speak to as many of the leading distributors as you can, many of the VIPs as you can, to get a sense of where they've come from. Probably get some tips as to how you can best capitalise on the area in which you live. So if our VIPs could stand, let's recognise them also for the great contribution they make. Thank you, guys. I'm often asked by guests, you know, what's the motivation for an independent distributor to share what works for them with everybody else? And I guess the answer to that is that I think of all of our VIPs, they've been around, they know that this industry is so untouched, it's untapped, and that by working together, each and every one of us can achieve more. And so perhaps unlike a lot of other industries, there's a great deal of sharing, there's a great deal of mentoring and coaching that takes place from people who have no financial interest in you whatsoever. They could be somebody else's leader, somebody else's upline, but they're always there to help and share and encourage. The next group that I'd like to introduce you to are our advisory board, and Dr. Peter Atherton, who is our resident doctor. And Peter, from a conventional GP background, trained traditionally as a doctor, began his journey of exploration into natural products easily over a decade ago, and in my opinion knows more about aloe in particular than anybody else I've ever met in Europe. He's helped us construct a number of clinical trials with hospitals in the UK, so there's scientific evidence, not just anecdotal evidence, that the core product that we have, aloe, is a really, really powerful healer. And of course, if you know anything about the history of aloe, it goes back thousands of years. So in his absence, let's give him a round of applause. Let's hope he's well soon. Peter Atherton. I'm not sure David's in the room either, but David's our resident vet. Our products work equally well on animals, and David has helped us again with a number of trials on particularly horses. Again, conventionally trained as a vet. I think, you know, the veterinary world, a bit like the human world, there are more and more people now that want safe, natural solutions to looking after their pets or their professional animals. I already mentioned to you we had a couple of horses running in the Cheltenham week this week that were drinking aloe, and David always says to me, horses are the best customers. He said, I bet you've never had a letter from a horse complaining about the taste of your aloe. You're right, and they drink a lot of it as well, so brilliant customers. So if David's in the room today, let's oh, David, you're there. Welcome back. Sunning himself in Barbados for a couple of weeks. Is he looking tanned? We'll see later on. I've seen Louise in the room today. Louise is our beautician. She's our colour cosmetics specialist, and She's excited, I know, because we've got some new Flawless, some of our new Flawless collection being launched at the O2 Arena. And she's also recently been very, very instrumental in the launch of our products into the sports world, and very knowledgeable on a whole range of our products and conducts great trainings, as all of our advisory board do around the country. So let's hear it for Louise. Louise, thanks for the great job that you do. And finally, Dawn, if she's in the room yet, I don't know, but she was in the traffic. She is. You are going to hear from Dawn later on as she updates you on our weight management products, which, along with the sports side, has really seen significant growth. Our weight management products literally growing by hundreds of % a year in terms of the amount that we're selling. This equates to about 20% of our total turnover now is in the weight management market. And it's a marketplace that just seems to be growing and growing, if you'll excuse the pun, because more and more people now wanting to lose weight in a safe, natural way. And we have a 9-day detox program that is absolutely phenomenal for that. So at the distribution centre just a couple of 3 weeks ago, I was talking to the lads there who were picking and packing the clean 9 boxes. About a year ago, we might move 2,000 boxes in a month, something like that. We're close to 10,000 boxes in a month now. It's just incredible. We can't get hold of the product fast enough, but that's another story. Dawn's well qualified in our skincare, our nutritional side. Again, a very, very popular speaker, has spoken all around the world to forever audiences. You're going to hear from her later on, but if she's here, let's thank Dawn for the great job she does. No, still in the traffic. I hope you're going to hear from her later anyway. Our next team are our area development directors, and around the country there we have a team of people who firstly have already built successful established businesses in their own right, and then have the role of looking after the meetings and trainings in the geographical area and also the social events. They do a great job. You know, if you're in an area perhaps where you don't have an upline close by or support close by, they can be particularly helpful in pointing you in the right direction as to the sort of trainings and the sort of support that you need at whatever stage of your career you're in. So let's thank the ADDs for the great job that they do. Where are they? A few of them in the room. So, a business that's in the right place at the right time, but still has tons of untapped potential. A business that, if you can grasp just a few basic fundamentals, if you can develop the courage to go out there every day and share your story, whether your story is about the product benefits or about the business benefits, this is a secure future. For 35 years, we've shown people all around the world how to build something for themselves. And you know, the great thing about being a Forever distributor is it is your own business. Whilst you're building it under our umbrella, it's still your own business. When you look in the mirror in the morning, you're looking at the boss. Scary some mornings, but liberating most. Meaning you're never going to get a letter from Forever Living saying you need to do more or you need to work harder. You set the agenda. Equally, the good news is you're never going to get a letter from Forever saying you're earning too much money. I thought that was good news. I thought there'd be more of a laugh about that one. You know, you can literally determine what you want to earn from your Forever business. And the great thing about Forever is that you've got the flexibility to work with whoever you want, wherever you want, when you want. But it is about work. It's not a business that you can just sign the form and expect the money to come in. As with every other business, you need to open your doors each day. You need to be touching your business each day. And if you're prepared to do that, then I can promise you you'll achieve your goals. And those goals might be something as simple as an extra few £100 a month on a very, very part-time basis in order to supplement what you're doing at the moment. And you're going to see lots and lots of evidence of that today. Equally, it might be that you want to develop a new career for yourself. It might be that one day you'd love to be able to walk into your boss and tell them that you can't afford them anymore. And I get lots of emails and calls every single week from people in this audience who've done exactly that. They've focused on their part-time Forever business for a while, built it to the level where they no longer need the boss or the job because they've developed enough of an income stream to be able to replace the daytime income. It might be that you're sitting in the audience thinking you'd love to be wealthy. And you're going to see and hear from some wealthy people today who, like you, at some point in the past had the courage to sign that distributor application form and then do something about it. We get rewarded for our efforts, and you're going to see some evidence of that today too. Our event at the O2 Arena is one of 2 global trips that you can qualify for each year, and whilst I accept that you can't perhaps count going to London as a global trip this year, it was in Hawaii last year, and I can promise you you're going to need some sun cream and a passport for next year. So that's the good news. It's going to move its way around the world, and as a result of that, you're going to get the chance to see the world at Forever's expense over the coming years. And it's absolutely an opportunity for everyone. All walks of life, all backgrounds, all shapes and sizes, and all ages. So if you're here for the first time today, I hope that's given you a little sense of what we're all about, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And even though you won't know the people coming across the stage today in the recognition slots, I hope that you'll join with us in congratulating them on a job well done, because at some point in the not too distant future, it's most likely to be you walking across this stage as well.